Hey, what's up guys, it's Pohdoh here, and this time I got some update news. Some of this update news came out like about a week ago, but I wanted to wait until they actually revealed the entire tree. So if you guys didn't know, Gameloft posted on their official Facebook page the entire Order tree with exactly what each skill does. With what they should, what they should do, assuming they didn't mess up like they did last time. But anyways, I'm just here to quickly show you what all them are. So if you're just here to read it, then that's cool. You don't need to listen to me rambling on, and you can stick on to the end if you want to hear my analysis on everything. So here's the mastery right here, pretty much unchanged. And then here's the first tier, still almost unchanged, no poison. And then here's the second tier, all the rapid shot stuff is right here. Next tier, pretty much almost unchanged. The icons are still the same. This is the big dipper right here, and I'll talk about it in just a bit. Pretty much unchanged. And then for the last tier is just snipe. Pretty self-explanatory. So then here's the entire tree using my amazing Windows Paint skill. It's a little choppy, but you can see the whole thing right here. And I'll talk about my entire opinions on these talents in just a bit. So anyways, the first is the mastery. It's pretty much unchanged. There's nothing really special about it, which is really disappointing since they could have done something cool about, if you're at this distance and you do more damage, but they didn't. Pretty much the same. Nothing to really talk about there. Kind of disappointing. Now for the first tier, they moved the critical one back to the first. They removed the poison. Then they changed the movement speed. Move speed upgrade so that you actually do more auto attack. So that's pretty cool. So you can use escape both as an offensive and a defensive tool now. So I think this will pretty much be a no-brainer to spec now. And then here, all your split shot stuff is right here. Another thing to notice is that the split shot, the explosive shot, actually does 100% weapon damage, so it's 3 times more damage than before. I still think it's gonna be a very, noticeable amount regardless, so it doesn't really matter. Split shot seems to be pretty much unchanged. They could change the damage, for all these skills, but I don't really think they would. Seeing how they, left almost everything else unchanged. But there's a barrage skill, or I'm assuming that's what it's called. That's what it was called with the last tree. Pretty much unchanged. Restores some more vigor, 5 vigor if you put in all 5 points into it, 1 vigor if you only put in 1 point into it, and so on, so on. Next tier, here is pin feet, exactly where it was last time, and then let's see, the one below is brutal implosion, whatever it was called, barrage, and the last tree where you do more auto attack speed damage. So combined with escape, you can actually do some pretty significant damage in dungeons where you're standing perfectly still. But then again, you need to move around for gorilla. But anyways, the middle one's kind of interesting. It actually has a new mechanic where you have to be at a certain distance, not too far, not too close, where you get a buff basically. And you get to put a slow condition, which might be very important because so far we don't see any poison. So if there's no slow poison, you can't activate explosive shot, and then your opponents can get really close to you. Another thing you might want to notice is that it actually does shadow damage. I think this is the very first skill ever where it actually does shadow damage. So it might be alluding to the future skills with the new trees with a shadow tree in the future. So shadow damage is pretty interesting. Only 5% though, which makes me think this skill might be bugged. So they're only showing the one where you only invest 1 point into it, because 5% is awfully slow. Awfully little, and then it only lasts for 1 second. Like, it's a cool concept, but this talent's pretty shit if you have to invest 5 points into this. So I'm guessing it's probably just bugged, where this is just the effect if you only invest 1 point into it. That's just my guess, because honestly, 1 second, that's pitiful. That's way too short. What if you only invest 1 point? 1 point in this is gonna be like 0.2 seconds, and then 1.23% shadow damage. So anyways, that's just my opinion on it. It looks pretty interesting, at least. I'll say that much. Now here comes the big change right here. Gameloft is actually introducing traps, which makes me which gives a lot of interesting thought into the table. First of all, pretty much what traps are is that you put them on the ground. We don't know if they're cloaked, we don't know how long it takes, we don't know their cooldown, we don't even really know how they look like, we don't know pretty much anything about them. They'll probably resemble the one in CSL, but then again, those kind of suck as well. They only activate a small portion of time, so hopefully they're not like that. But basically what these traps are is that you put it down, if someone steps on it, then it explodes and it does something. It's just that simple. Before that, there's vigilance in the top, so hopefully pin feet actually stuns again. I don't even know why I say hopefully. I'm a mage, I fucking hate archers, lame ass archers. But anyways, or dirty rangers in general. But anyways, Vigilance is on the top, so I'm assuming pin feed stuns, because if it doesn't stun, that kind of sucks, to be perfectly honest. Let's see, and then what else is there? Traps. A few things to notice. First of all, the upgrade below, 5 points, quite a lot of points. So you know, a lot of these skills require 5 points investment. So you know, I think this tree is gonna be starved of points. It's not gonna be like the old archer tree where you had points left over. You're gonna need every single point, and I think I like that because it will make trees more difficult to design, and also make the tree more varied. So you don't have, you know, one cookie cutter spec for everything like military monks and old archers. So 300 something percent, I can't really even see with this video editor. It's like 300% or 327% rain attack power damage. That's like, I mean, if you're like fully buffed, if you're like fully gemmed, that's what, like 9k to like 10 to 11k damage, and that's like on crit, I believe. So if that crits, like holy fuck, that's like a shit ton of damage. Like 1.3k damage, 1.4k damage on a dummy. So I'm not sure they'll balance it out. I definitely do like the idea though. Well, when I say I like the idea, I mean good job copying it from World of Warcraft, since hunters have traps there as well. But regardless, you know, I'm not gonna complain. Also, it says you can put 2 different type of traps with the upgrade, so I think it's a really good upgrade because it gives more spells and it gives more utility. Although I'm pretty sure everyone's gonna use the stun one. It's gonna be pretty cool. You can put it down in the pole, and while your healer is running away from a DPS warrior, the DPS warrior can accidentally step on one, and it'll do a shit ton of damage, and it'll stun them, and it'll be good CC. It might lead to some draw tactics, and you know, it also depends on how long it takes to put down. I mean, if it takes like 3 seconds to put down, then it's gonna suck bollocks. So no getting around that. Or if it's instacast, if a warrior charges you, you can just put it down, and you can just, they charge you, you can free will put it down. It stuns for 4 seconds. It does a shit ton of damage, and you can run away, and then you can pin feed, then snipe, and I think it's a good idea overall. It really does depend on how to implement it. If you can see it, then then that kind of sucks. If it has a casting, that's also gonna suck. If it has a long cooldown, it's also gonna really suck. So we'll see. This is pretty much unchanged. The silence only lasts for 2 seconds now. Yeah, I think it's 2 seconds, and then the point investment is just to change the percent, because honestly, if it's 6 second silence and is bugged and it only shows 1 out of 3, then that sounds pretty overpowered. 6 second silence, like what the fuck. Everything else seems pretty much the same. And then for the last one, there's snipe. Pretty simple, or singular vengeance. I think that's what they call it in the talent mastery. So this also talked about the talent mastery. They didn't include a Vulgent shot, which is like destroy or something. I don't know what it's called, or pin feed. So maybe they cost no vigor, maybe they cost a lot of vigor. Who knows? So either ways, a snipe seems unchanged. Maybe they changed the cooldown, whatnot. So anyways, here's the entire tree. So I'll talk about the entire tree broadly. As you can see, there's a lot of 5-pointers, and the issue, like, you know, the issue with, and a lot of 5-pointers, it seems to be a lot of essential upgrades. Like, you need the vigilance upgrade if it causes pin feed. You're going to need the rapid step upgrade. You're going to need the full trap. You're going to need gorilla. You're going to need Avulsion full silence. You're going to also, well, maybe full silence, we'll see. You're also going to need snipe, obviously. Let's see, you're going to need the gorilla. You're going to probably need explosive shot. You're probably going to need overwhelm as well, maybe some points into it. So what I'm getting, and then this isn't even including poison. Like in the assassin tree, there might be double poison, so you need a spec into poison as well. So if assuming that is not interbred into the class now, but that's one thing I noticed. This talent tree seems pretty point starved. So we can see some creative trees where one focuses on traps, one focuses on control, using full silence, full pin feed. One focuses on traps, just full traps, full attack power. Another one focuses on on just pure damage, using pure crit, using pure explosive shot, rapid with a rapid shot, split shot upgrade, etc. So I see some potential with this talent tree. It doesn't seem cookie cutter like it did before. However, on the split side, I am really disappointed that they didn't include a new mastery. They could have included new talents, they could have included new icons like they did with warriors. Pretty much they gave this they pretty much half-assed this tree. Besides the trap part, everything else seems very, very similar. They could have done something really cool to mastery where you have to be exactly 15 meters. If you're 15 meters, the closer you are to 15 meters, the more damage you do. So if you're at exactly 15 meters, then you do like 50% more damage. So it'll actually put a lot of skill into archers so that, you know, good archers will know exactly when they're at 10 meters, while bad archers will be at 25 meters and they'll have no clue, etc, etc, etc. Let's see what else. You know, this, you know, I'm kind of disappointed, to be honest. I mean, it's good. It's not a bad tree by any means. I mean, I don't even know if that's true, to be honest, because I might just be happy that it's a new tree. I really like the idea of traps, even if I don't have an archer. Well, you know, I do, except I don't play very often. But even if I can experience, you know, I like to see, you know, all classes happy. I don't want to see one class nerfed. I don't want to see one class super buffed. I want, you know, the classes to be as fair as possible, as impossible as possible, as impossible of a task that really is. But anyways, Pohdoh approves, sort of. I gave this tree like a 7.5 out of 10. The reason why is they could have changed so much more. They could have completely reworked it like DPS Warriors. Like, look at the change in DPS Warrior tree. Look at the change in Tank tree. It's a completely different class, but this, you know, it's like, it's pretty similar besides the traps and besides the somewhat nifty distance talent. Everything else is pretty much exactly the same. And, you know, it's kind of disappointing, but, you know, as long as it's fun, as long as it makes the archers a little more skillful and a little less, you know, brainless, then I'm cool with it. I'll take it. You know, you can't have everything. So anyways, Pohdoh here, rate, comment, subscribe. Tell me guys what you think about this archer tree, and then yeah, tell me guys if you're excited for the update. I'm like on the borderline. This is rangers. I don't really like rangers that much. I'm really looking forward to the mage tree. But anyways, Pohdoh here, rate, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.